Hello, everybody. Leslie Bilodeau Plazz here. July 20. No. It's July 31st, 2022. Wow. I'm standing here at the gate to the woods because it's a little buggy in there and I kept getting bugs in my eyes. Leslie Bilodeau Plazz, Zazoo Plazz report. The end of July, last day of July. August is coming. Tomorrow, August. Wow, 8/1. I wanted to get some of these pretty flowers in here. I don't know what they're called. The Queen's Anne lace. See? The pretty white flowers. And some of these yellow ones are really pretty. So rather than lean up against the tree today, I'm out here. It's like 7 o'clock. The lights are coming on in the parking lot. Nice little purple flowers. So bear with me. Oh my goodness, I'm looking at last week's report. I want to make this quick. So, yeah, I'm out here today. Yeah, pardon me, I'm getting over. Just kind of got a little frog in my throat. But yeah, it's a little humid today, you know, buggy, especially over here by the swamp. But you know, I'm going through. I'm almost done with my papers. I had to get out here just to take a little break from everything, you know, because you start the week, right? You've got your things that you want to accomplish, and then all these things start coming up, you know, like my Aunt Georgia calls me. She wants me to come to her 90th birthday party at the is someplace, and her birthday's next Saturday or something, next Sunday. It's like, well, you know, maybe. And you know, and then one of my cousin's daughters, who was actually our flower girl at our wedding, she and her husband are getting married. They live in Brooklyn, but they're getting married up in like Poughkeepsie or somewhere up in yonder in New York, which is like a 2.5-hour drive from here. And it just so happens to be the weekend that my youngest son, Z, P, is moving into his dorm at college. So I love those guys. They're awesome. Normally I would love to go, but I started thinking about it, you know. I mean, all of my grandiose plans would be, yeah, I'm gonna go up, you know, I'll just go. I'll just take the guy car because the minivan will be in use. I'd say, okay, first of all, it's my husband's car, which he gave to my son, who he's not taking to campus. I call it the demon car. It's gray. It's low to the ground. It's the midlife guy car. So from the minute I saw it, I thought, oh, we are not going to get along. I said, yeah. He's like, I'm getting it. And I'm like, I hate it. Every time I get in that car, something happens. Lights come on that I can't shut off. It's got a moon roof or something that I just can't get the hang of. And his license plate has the letters HFC, which I took to mean Hell's Fury car, or something like that. And if he's listening, you know, he knows I call it the demon car, because it is possessed, I believe. Anyway, just the thought of driving the demon car 2.5 hours north paying $300 for a hotel, plus the gift I was going to give them, which would be money toward their European vacation so they can do things that I want to do. Standing in the swamp. They're going to be going to the theater in London and taking Irish cooking lessons. Going to Paris and, strolling hand in hand down the boulevard. Ooh wee la la. Like, have fun, kids. God bless you. We are not at the same point in life. And, and that's fine. But, and then the other factor I considered was, would there even be anybody to sit with if I went, because my husband's going to be helping with the kid, and the other one's off he's getting an apartment or something. I'm driving up there, then I got to sit around, for the whole day until the 3 o'clock wedding in the middle of the afternoon. This half an hour ceremony in the middle of the golf course, apple orchard or something. And then what? I can see myself sitting at a table with the dregs, the people who kind of are little fringy, like I did when I went alone to my college roommate's wedding in 1990, and I was in grad school, so I brought all my books with me, and I'm like, it was somewhere in like Eastern Mass, north of Boston, and everybody talked, everybody had Boston accents, and they stuck me at some table. They stuck me at the kids' table, basically. I had 13-year-olds at my table, and somebody's maiden aunt who never got married, and somebody's weird Uncle Ralph. That's where you get stuck when you're a single person at a wedding, and you're waving at your friend over there at the main table, it's like, hello. It's like I posted on my Zazoo page. You end up, what the way I would like to be at weddings, is like some get down and dancing and, the way my kids see me at a wedding is like that old lady, who goes, hip hop, the hip, a hippie to the hip hop, hippity doo. That one from Wedding Crashers with Adam Sandler. She's so cute. I love that lady. So anyway, I digress. So I think I have these optimistic, grandiose visions of myself driving up there. Oh, exploring the area, having a great time at the wedding, and joining them for s'mores and pizza at the bonfire after. In reality, I'm going to be like the only person over age 40 or under age 80, besides her parents, my cousin, but they're going to be busy handling the grandparents, my aunt and uncle, and, and then there's the whole other side of the guy she's marrying, who's a great guy. He's a musician. He's from Brazil or something. I've met him like once at another wedding, at her sister's wedding, my cousin's younger daughter, which was like 4 years ago. But I had my son with me at the time, and it was different. And my husband was with me at that wedding. So I'm like, in reality, I have two scenarios. I have my ideal scenario and the reality. So I allow myself, for once, to look at the reality of the situation. It's just not going to work. It's just not. I know I'd get some good stories out of it, but I can get good stories imagining myself going through it. Because, the reality is that I'd spend a lot of money on gas and a lot of frustration, and I'd come back exhausted, and my work would suffer the next week because I'd have to recover from the adventure, So anyway, what was I talking? Okay. So I regrettably RSVP'd that we can't make it. I tried. I'll make her a nice card. Put a little checky in there, because that's always welcome, and send them off with many blessings on their way to their honeymoon and Godspeed. All right. Same for my Aunt Georgia. I don't think she really. I don't know. Got a little cough. I think I can make it. I'm not feeling too well. Okay. So, yeah, really. So anyway, to the report. Enough of me and my situations, right? Enough of the 3D events. Part of me, see, and that's what the theme is. The theme this week is letting go. It's like shedding our old skin. I'm a snake, born in the year of the snake, and I feel like I've been going through this process of shedding my old identity. That person, that good little Leslie who used to go to everybody's party and sit there and be nice and smile and get, when really I wanted to say, no, I don't want to. I'm busy. I have other things. I have a life to create for myself, and it's time. How many times do you? Oh God, here's some guy. Okay. Just take a walk. So anyway, it's a time of change. I found this picture. Look at this. It's my dad. It was at our old beach house, August 7th, 2005. My son was almost 5, my oldest son, and my dad, the Taurus, riding his prized possession, the riding mower, and Ben, the Virgo, riding with him. I said, that's perfect for today, right? Because we've got a bunch of planets, the Mars, the North Node, and Uranus in Taurus. And wow. And it's, it took place during Leo season. Look at them riding on the red mower. There's fire, there's earth, and there's wind there because they're both having a good time talking and, in the ocean breezes. I thought there it is, earth, wind, and fire. Okay. So I said, oh, that's perfect. Yeah, they're mowing the lawn, right? So, and that's part of it too, There's my dad, he's a fixed sign. He's a Taurus, right? And they don't like change. And that's what's been going on lately. Is all this energy going through Taurus, forcing change and things that are earthly, like money, institutions, things that we, food supply, stuff that we count on, right? All those earthly things. It's like the mower. It's like the electric charge that's, it's plowing through and forcing change, forcing evolution and forward motion. How awesome is that an example of? Wow. Yeah, I love that. So, yeah, just like the reading today. Prosper the work of our hands. Isn't that funny? Prosper the work of our hands. Getting rid of the old ways, right? The old grass, the old self, and being free to create for God a new world, a new way of being. I love that. That's why the song. I originally had two songs. I had an Earth, Wind, and Fire song, but it didn't. The words weren't quite. Even though I love Earth, Wind, and Fire from when I was a little kid, but it just wasn't. So, the song that's been in my head all weekend, Patti Smith and Scandal. Scandal, the band from like the early to mid 80s. Patti Smith, goodbye to you, goodbye to you. That one. So, 1982, so says the interwebs. Yeah. I love the words. Look, check out the words to that song, and just immerse yourself in it, because and I think that the meaning of the song can be applied to, just not just relationships, but our old self. Goodbye to you, old self. The parts of you that make you feel dull, make you feel less than your best self. Like you hold up a pair of old pants that you used to love, and they're goodbye to you, right? Because sing the song as you're getting rid of the old stained pants, the shirt that you used to love, but it's it's been through the wash a few times, and goodbye to you. The relationships where you give a lot and you don't get a lot in return. Maybe you get a Facebook thank you every once in a couple of years, but most of the time it's like, ew, yeah, let's invite them, because they'll send us money, and then we can ignore them again. Oh, man. And here's what I really think. I think it just doesn't matter anymore. Get off. I'm a humorist. Lighten up. So, now I want to offer for your entertainment and your learning value, the gospel with the guy who's got too much grain, so he has to tear down his old barn and build another, barn to store it. I suppose we can all think of somebody that reminds us of, right? The person everybody's got somebody on Facebook who does that. We all know those people. The guy and then he's got, in the old days, they didn't have Facebook, but now, see, the guy who's, he'd be, if this guy were around today, he'd be like, when the old barn, too small, and showing like the video of it being torn down, and, you build a new barn, and he's got his, big new barn there with all his grain in it, and it's just asking to be struck by lightning, right? So that's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. Because Uranus is going through Taurus with Mars and the North Node. The North Node is the future, right? And Mars is there. This is from what I understand from my amateur astrological research. But it's like a powder keg, It's like somebody looked at the barn, the universe looked at the barn, God, source, whatever, and said, that wasn't the best choice. Here's a lightning bolt. So anyway, so in other words, the better choice would be when you have surplus, give it to people or give it to those who need it, right? Reassess. Am I just storing this up, so that I can just be a fat cat and not give a crap about anybody? Oh, here comes the gray minivan. They always come around this time. Or, or is there a better choice I can make with this surplus? You know? So anyway, yeah, I gotta wind up here. So, anyway, I'm gonna head in now because these people are looking at me, talking to myself. Plus I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna make myself a nice little Cobb salad back at home with hard-boiled eggs and a little bacon and some turkey. Oh, it's so good. And the surplus from my garden, which I gave half of. We had a ton of bumper crop cucumbers and tomatoes, which we gave to the neighbors. That's what I'm talking about. See, it's like, do we try to eat it ourselves or do we give it to the neighbors? Give it to the neighbors. My neighbor, she wrote a nice little thank you note. She said, doesn't get better than that, fresh produce from the garden. So if you have surplus, go and share it. Share your harvest and enjoy the beautiful bounty of the week. And go out and say goodbye to some stuff that you probably won't miss. You know what that is. I'll see you next week. Zazoo Plazz, signing out. Take care. Bye-bye.